Good morning. Thank you for attending the July 9th, 2021 meeting of the Westerville City Schools Board of Education. The agenda will be displayed on the screens in the front of the room. You may also follow along by connecting to the district's website at www.wcsoh.org. Click on our district link, then select Board of Education, and then Board Docs Agenda, and select this morning's meeting. There will be two opportunities to address the board this morning. The first will be Agenda Item 4.01. The first set of public comments is relative to Agenda Items 5.01 through 8.01. Please state the agenda items you are referencing at the beginning of your comments. The second opportunity is Agenda Item 9.01. There is a sign-up sheet located on the table in the back of the room. Each speaker will have 5 minutes to address the board, and a timer will be displayed on the screen. And with that, Ms. Marshall, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Altman?
Here.
Mrs. Davidson?
Here.
Mr. Velardo is absent. Dr. Nesterbaker?
Here.
Mr. Bell?
Here. All right, meeting is called officially to order. Agenda Item 2.01, the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would please stand and join us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Agenda Item 3.01, approval of the minutes as presented of the Board of Education meeting held on Monday, June 28th, 2021. May I please have a motion and a second?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion, corrections, additions? Okay, hearing none, Ms. Marshall, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Davidson?
Yes.
Mrs. Altman?
Yes.
Dr. Nesterbaker?
Yes.
Mr. Bell?
Yes. Moving on to Agenda Item 4.01, public comments. There are none this morning. Agenda Item 5.01, board member compensation. May I please have a motion and a second?
So, you can have.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Ms. Marshall, would you please share with us regarding board compensation?
Yes, thank you, President Bell, members of the board. So we have 3 board seats that will be on the ballot for November for a term starting January 1st, 2022. The board is required to set compensation for board members who are coming in future terms, and so this sets their compensation at the same level as current board members.
Thank you. Any questions? Discussion? Would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Altman?
Yes.
Dr. Nesterbaker?
Yes.
Mrs. Davidson?
Yes.
Mr. Bell?
Yes. That motion carries. Moving on to Agenda Item 5.02, a resolution to approve the purchase in accordance with ORC 5705.41D1 and Board Policy 6320. May I please have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Marshall, would you please share with us about this one?
Yes, thank you, President Bell, members of the board. So these are the now purchase orders. This is an instance where we had a purchase order date that is after the invoice date. We did have purchase orders for both of these items at the time that they were, but it was a late invoice, and so because of timing, we ended up closing the purchase order, so we have to reopen it.
Thank you. Any questions or further discussion? Okay, Ms. Marshall, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Nesterbaker?
Yes.
Mrs. Davidson?
Yes.
Mrs. Altman?
Yes.
Mr. Bell?
Yes. Motion carries. Moving on to Agenda Item 6, the Personnel Consent Agenda, which is comprised of Agenda Items 6.01 through 6.12. May I please have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Dorn, would you please share with us?
Yes, good morning, President Bell, Vice President Dr. Nestor Baker, members of the board, Dr. Kellogg and Ms. Marshall. I would like to present to you for your consideration the personal consent agenda. The items contained within, for the most part, are through the normal course of daily business. However, 3 items that deserve to be highlighted in this agenda are as follows. First, we would like to recognize the promotion of Sherry Chafin to Assistant Principal at Point View Elementary School. Sherry has joined us today for this meeting. Sherry has been with the district since 1999 as a teacher at Amherst and Emerson, and most recently at Robert Frost, where she was the building's instructional coach and the district's elementary equity facilitator. Sherry is also our summer intervention coordinator this summer. Sherry earned her Bachelor of Arts in English and Early Childhood Education and Master's in Teaching at Hampton University. Let's welcome Sherry. Second, I'd also like to introduce Demetra Alston, who will join our district as our new assistant principal at Hawthorne Elementary. Demetria comes to us from Whitehall City Schools, where she has been serving as a special education coordinator. She's also been a special education coordinator in other school districts. Demetria earned her Bachelor of Arts in Speech Pathology and Audiology from South Carolina State University and her Master's of Arts in Speech and Hearing Science from The Ohio State University. After completing her Ed Leadership coursework through American College of Education, she earned her principal licensure from the University of Dayton. Demetria is with us today. We'd like to welcome her aboard as well. Dawn Sayre is also joining the district as our Director of Career and College Pathways. She is replacing Ann Baldwin. Dawn comes to us from Hilliard City Schools, where she has served most recently as a district curriculum coordinator. Her previous experience also includes being the Director of Middle Level Education for Hilliard, as well as being a principal in both Hilliard and Grandview Heights. Dawn earned her Bachelor of Arts in Education from Otterbein University and her Master of Arts in Educational Leadership from the University of Dayton. Dawn is also with us today, so let's welcome Dawn to the district. We are very happy to have Sherry, Demetria, and Dawn serving in leadership roles in our district. So.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Dorn? Further discussion? Okay. We want to certainly say welcome and thank you all for being here this morning on a Friday morning for this morning's board meeting. But welcome to the Westerville City Schools family. With that, Ms. Marshall, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Davidson,
Yes.
Dr. Nestor Baker,
Yes.
Mrs. Ottman,
Yes.
Mr. Bell.
Yes. And with that, the motion carries. Moving on to agenda item 7.01, a resolution approving the construction of the new middle school. May I please have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Dorn.
Thank you, President Bell, members of the board. The construction of the new middle school is part of the bond levy that the community approved in November of 2019. The new school is designed for 800 students and will be constructed across from Hawthorne Elementary School. The substantial completion date is scheduled for July of 2023, so it will open for the 23-24 school year. Bids were solicited in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code on May 10th. We received 3 bids that were publicly read on June 22nd. The lowest responsible bid was submitted by Pepper Construction in the amount of $34,425,012. Pepper's bid is 9.9% over Triad's estimate. We are currently working with Pepper to identify value engineering opportunities to offset the construction material cost increases as a result of the pandemic. Pepper, who is currently building the Westerville's new police station right here behind us, went through a similar process with the city with positive results. The overall budget for the bond project remains on budget as a result of the savings realized with our new elementary school and the Amherst project. It is being recommended that the board accept Pepper Construction's bid as we continue to identify cost savings opportunities.
Thank you. Any questions or further discussion?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I just wanted to thank you, Mr. Dorn, for walking through all of that, because I know There's a lot that has gone into getting us to this point and looking for those savings. So anyway, I appreciate the really excellent summary. Thanks.
And that's basically what I was going to say. But thank you for all the information that you've provided to us as you've worked through this. It's been a lot of work for you, and I appreciate that you've been keeping us in the loop so much.
We've got a great team.
Yeah.
Okay, Ms. Marshall, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Ottman,
Yes.
Dr. Nestor Baker,
Yes.
Mrs. Davidson,
Yes.
Mr. Bell.
Yes. Motion carries. Moving on to agenda item 8.01, public comments. We have none for this morning. Moving on to agenda item 9.01, board comments. Any comments anyone would like to make?
I just want to say welcome to our new members and to Sherry, who has been here. You're going to do amazing things. Congratulations on your promotion. It's good stuff.
That's what I was going to say.
Same thing. Just so pleased to have you all joining the schools and for being here this morning. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to working with you and seeing all the great things that happen.
Okay. We'll move on to agenda item 10, which 10.01. The board will meet in special session on Monday, July the 12th, 2021 at 6 o'clock p.m. here at the Early Learning Center, located at 936 East Wind Drive, Westerville, Ohio, 43081. The board meeting scheduled for Monday, July the 26th, 2021 has been canceled. And so with that, we'll move on to agenda item 11.01, adjournment. May I please have a motion and a second?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? Never get any discussion on this one. Ms. Marshall, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Davidson,
Yes.
Dr. Nestor Baker,
Yes.
Mrs. Altman,
Yes.
Mr. Bell.
Yes. And with that, we are adjourned.